do when cleaning a song up inside of Record. Let me go ahead and just play this. So, what I like to do is, so you got all your instruments in here, and you got a lot of MIDI. It's nice having all that MIDI. But it's also nice having audio on there. So this is what I like to do. If you notice right here, you got these little devices that say mix. What this is saying is that the mixer, these are actually mixed channels that are up here. So you can see this one that says drums, mix. That's this channel right here. This is a mixer channel, and that's my drums. I got bass line, mix. So this is my mixer channel and my bass line and my mixer channel. When you're bouncing these MIDI tracks to an audio track, there's a certain way that you need to do it if you want stereo and if you want mono. And the way to do that is to actually come back here and just make sure that you have stereo on the input of your mix right here. So this is your mix, I don't know what you want to call this channel. We'll call this a mix channel or mixed device. Make sure that that's stereo. The drum track I want stereo in, so that one's fine. The bass line, I only want mono, so I'll unhook one of those from the device to the channel strip. Just make sure it's mono going in, and when it bounces, it'll bounce it to a mono track. Same thing with this one. You can see right from the Thor right there. It's only going to be mono going in. Now I got all these are set up with my stereo. Now the reason why I like to bounce them to an audio track is you can see all these levels right here. After I have an audio track, it actually loses, like see how it says combinator, and I got a Thor and a Thor and a Thor. It actually drop all those devices, and I could just stack all those mixed channels over here to where it's all levels. So I like using this left side to view all my levels. You know, you got your big meter here and stuff too. So in order to bounce those, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and select one of our tracks and then just go up here to File, Bounce Mixer Channels, and then it's going to ask you what mixer channels you want to bounce. And because I want to do them all at once, I'm just going to select all these. And I want to bounce in between my loop locators because I basically want to capture this audio just this little bit for the sake of this demonstration. So I'm going to select loop. I want to go to new tracks and song, and I don't want to mute the original channels because then I won't be able to play them back if I need to later on. So I just leave that unchecked, and I don't want to do any pre-EQ or dynamics, and I don't want to normalize it. Just send it out the way that it is. So for the sake of this demo, I'll just do it like that, and you'll see it'll bounce them down, and I'll have audio tracks. It'll put audio tracks in the actual song. Now you can bounce them to a disc too, or to the desktop, but for the sake of this, I'm doing it. And you can see right here, actually I could delete this one, I don't even know why it's in there. I got a stereo track right here for my drums, and I got all my other tracks on here too. Normalizing this to give you a more defined waveform and stuff. But it also causes clipping issues. So now you can see I still have, I'm going to mute all my MIDI tracks. You can see I still have all my MIDI tracks, so I can shift notes around if I want to change something. I got audio tracks, and it's nice to do this so you can see the dynamics. If your ear's not tuned to hear the dynamics, you'll be able to see them, what's going on here. And also, if you want to switch to a Pro Tools setup, if you've got somebody that, you know, engineers or whatever, you'll be able to import these audio into a Pro Tools setup pretty easily. So now that we have those bounced, you can see here how they're all set up without the devices. And what I like to do is just take and this is when you have a finished song, you know what I mean, to finalize it, and set all of my devices up over on this side, you know what I mean. All my metering I usually have on the left side of my rack, and then, you know what I mean, of course, you know, you got the expandable rack inside to record, which is really nice. You know, if you got your drums set up like your kick, snare, you know, whatever, toms, cymbals, hi-hats, you can set all your drums up on one rack, all your synths up on another rack, and just organize it, you know. So this is pretty awesome how Record gives you these features, you know what I mean. And then we got this new big meter right here that we can actually see the clipping. And there's a couple different ways to use this meter. I won't get into that right now, but you know what I mean, we got this awesome mixer, and that's just kind of a couple ways to organize. Oh yeah, another thing I wanted to show you too. What I like to do is when you import, let's say if I get in here and I tweak one of these Thors out, I mean, I do all my own settings. It's nice to have these names right here that match everything. So I got stabs marked here, stabs marked there. In my sequencer, I know I've got the same thing, you know what I mean? Same thing up here in my channel strips, you know what I mean? So in order to get all these names, I just go here and I save it, you know, as whatever it is named up in the mixer or in the sequencer, and then I usually save them to the desktop, and then I'll make my own folder for the song, and I'll make sure that I have all my presets or my instruments in with the song file. That way, for whatever reason, if you know, if for whatever reason they're all there, they're all located. I know you don't have to do that, but this is the way I like to set it up. That way I got everything